Hello, my name is Robert Camacho, and this is my video on first my reaction to the article, and then I'm going to talk about an American, tradition slash ritual, and kind of the history of it, changes, whether it's good or bad, these changes, etc. So yeah, thank you. So to begin, my reaction to the article that was assigned about the Nazarema is that I thought it was insane. Or at least that was my first impression. When I first saw this, this culture being explained to us, I thought it was crazy. I couldn't believe that they ate fire and, stabbed themselves with swords and played with toxic chemicals and stuff. That to me just sounded like really out there. But then I gotta admit that as they kind of explain their reasoning for why they do these things and what it means to them, etc., it began to make sense. And I kind of realized that, okay, it might be a little odd, but, they have their reasoning for it. And I guess when you look at it in that scope and the context, it makes sense. And it's not like other, cultures don't have things that other people perceive as weird. And that's kind of where I get into the American culture I want to talk about. And the American culture I want to talk about is the pastime of Jigglyball. And for anyone who doesn't know, Jigglyball is this tradition where every third month under the full moon, you have two teams. They line up against two different opposing walls. Usually an alley is a good place to play it. And basically you spend 3 rounds of 3 minutes each just chucking tennis balls at each other and trying to hurt their team as much as possible. And basically, if you can make somebody cry on the other team, that is worth a point. And it's a really fun game. I've engaged in it a lot. I think it's a great game because it doesn't even look at gender or stereotypes or anything. Anyone's free to play it. It doesn't know. It's just not just for males, not just for females. All that goes out the window. But I think it's a really fun game, and I've always had fun with it. And I've engaged in it, a couple years in a row, and even hosted the event. However, other cultures look at it as weird. They look at it as immature, kind of barbaric. And personally, I don't understand it. But I don't know. Then again, maybe taking a step back, maybe there's some truth to it. Now, as for how the game has changed, back in 1970, Jigglyball was not played with a tennis ball. It was actually played with husks of corn that they would roll up, and then they would tie rubber bands. That's what they would use instead of tennis balls for some reason. And it was until 1999 they decided to use tennis balls for the first time. And while now each team usually has 5 members, anywhere between 5 members to 7 members, it depends. The teams used to only have 4 people on it. So that's a bit of a change too. But yeah, once, the year 2000 hit and everyone was afraid of the Y2K, for some reason they decided, hey, it's fine. You can expand the number of team members. So, And not only that, but before it used to be a really underground sport. And now, for whatever reason, it's something that's televised and something that's streamed. And then a lot of people actually love to watch the game and engage in it. And it's a really good talking point, people talk about it around the water cooler sort of thing. So I thought that was interesting as well, that it became something very mainstream. Is the change over time good or bad? I would say it's a good thing that's become more mainstream. Because before, it used to be kind of like an in culture versus out culture sort of thing, where some of the people who played it would kind of get maybe bullied or looked down upon a little bit. But now that everybody plays Jigglyball and it's such a big thing and it's a more commercial success, I think it's a good thing. However, some people do look down on it and they feel that it's kind of lost its soul. I know in an article titled Jigglyball, What Went Wrong from 2010, the author Mike Wazowski, he says, and I quote, he says, with the invention of streaming and Jigglyball becoming mainstream, it feels like a lot of people do not play for the heck of the sport anymore, but they play for fame and glory. Clearly, Jigglyball has lost what once made it special. So, some people feel that because it's so mainstream, it has kind of taken away a bit of that authenticity, you know. But yeah, guys, there you go. That is my report on Jigglyball. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys learned something today about the sport and about American culture. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.